But first to this, a Fox News alert: chaos erupting at America's airports as the nation enters day 36 of the partial government shutdown. Apocalyptic lines across the country as the acting TSA deputy administrator warns that smaller airports could quite literally shut down if Congress does not pay TSA workers. Now, while you will be subject to these onerous security lines, guess who will not? Congress. Members of Congress receive expedited and private security. That must be nice. And Senator John Cornyn is looking to put a stop to that with the End Special Treatment for Congress at Airports Act, which would require members of Congress to go through the same screening as you do. Now, that bill passed the Senate. It moves on to the House. And we ask, will Congress vote to subject themselves to the same rules that you follow? Meanwhile, roughly 50,000 TSA employees are working without pay. Listen to one TSA worker at Reagan National Airport.
We're not Republicans, we're not Democrats, we're not independents. We're just people that come to work every day to do our job. And all we expect you guys to do is do your job. Pay us for what we do.
Saturday in America sees you, and we will not forget the pain inflicted upon our TSA workers during the last government shutdown.
Our TSA workers are going without pay. As you mentioned, we have talked to many officers who they're sleeping in their cars. They have just tens of dollars left in their bank account. It really is becoming a huge issue, and they're having to face the question, do they put gas in their car to get to work to serve the American people, or do they stay back at home so that they can pay for groceries for their family?
Now, despite the pain inflicted on travelers and TSA workers alike, Democrats voted for a fifth time to keep DHS defunded. And the liberal media is even noticing now. Look at this ABC headline: Democrats have once again blocked a funding bill for the Department of Homeland Security as they continue to insist on reforms to ICE and CBP. And just this morning, Elon Musk said he is looking to do what Democrats will not. I would like to offer to pay the salaries of TSA personnel during this funding impasse. Now let's go right now to Madison Scarpino at Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport, where the early morning rush is just beginning. Madison.
Good morning, Kayleigh. Once you get past the check-in counter at this airport, all you can see is a sea of people waiting in these long TSA lines. There are massive crowds of people filling up these hallways. I have never seen anything like this here, as Hartsfield-Jackson has consistently been hit with these long lines almost every single day over the last week or so. So I'm going to have my photographer give our viewers a look at exactly what's going on here right now. People tell us they got here 3-4 hours before their flights, and it's all because TSA workers are not getting any money still, and many are reporting and not being able to pay for basics like gas, rent, and food. Nearly 400 of them nationwide have quit since the start of this shutdown. Over the last few days here in Atlanta alone, almost 40% of them are calling out each day. And this is leading to a lot of frustrated, confused, and tired travelers. Listen.
I feel bad, honestly, for just the TSA workers who are here. So we're just grateful that, we came early because we were prepared, but unfortunately, flight boards in like 30 minutes. So even though we got here early, hopefully we make it.
And we're seeing these long TSA lines pop up at other major airports.
Well, it looks like we lost Madison there. We will follow up with Madison when we get her back. But we are learning that hundreds of TSA employees have resigned since the shutdown began, and they stopped getting paid. Now, my next guest is one of those TSA workers. Here she is, Utah Regional Vice President Tanja Michelle Fowler. Tanja, look, I'm thinking about you guys, and I'm sure you are as furious as so many others that our lawmakers cannot get their act together, cannot get you paid. Tell me about the choice you had to make.
Well, this is the third shutdown that I've been a part of, and at the end of the day, you have to make that choice. If you're going to do a job, you want to get paid. It's a job that I loved. I worked very hard at. We're protecting the American public that are traveling, and that's an important job. As you can see, my family, they come from a long background of serving our country. This was my way to serve the country. But again, at the end of the day, if you're not getting paid for the job that you're doing, and again, being so close to the very last 45-day shutdown, that we weren't paid. Sometimes you just have to make those difficult choices.
Yeah, it's an incomprehensible choice. How bad do you think these lines are going to get? You know, I was just in the airport yesterday, 2 days ago, I should say. The lines weren't extraordinarily bad, but we have seen them 2-3 hours at some places. If there's a second paycheck that is missed by TSA workers, how bad do those lines get?
They're going to get worse. People are making decisions. Do they pay their child care? Yeah. Landlords and car companies and electric companies are not saying, hey, we'll give you guys a break. They need their money just as much as we need our money that we supposedly earn. We're going into week 5. Week 5, they are already owed 3 weeks of pay. And now we're going into week 5 where they're potentially going to miss out on a whole nother paycheck. And that's ridiculous. This is not the American dream that people sign up for when they go to work. They expect to at least get a paycheck, and I think that's fair. We're asking the American public to donate canned goods and items to airports just for the TSA agents to be able to use, and that takes a piece of your heart and your pride out as well.
And here's something that I think the American public needs to know about this. You know, people say, well, you know, you save and you prepare for a moment like this. But if you saved and you prepared, you spent that money during the last government shutdown, which was just about 3 or 4 months ago. So are you hearing from your colleagues, look, we used our savings to pay when you guys weren't paying us during the last shutdown, and now we are just empty?
Absolutely. The last paycheck that people got was a partial paycheck, and that paycheck, all of their money from money that they borrowed against their retirement came out of that check. So people brought home maybe $10, $20, $30, and they're at their wits' end. They're frustrated. If they're made to go to work and to do their jobs and to show up, why are the people in Washington not doing their job?
Yeah, it's a great question. Someone who is saying, look, I'm going to step in and fill the void. Elon Musk announcing this morning that he wants to pay TSA workers. What do you think as a former TSA worker when you hear Elon Musk say, I want you to get paid?
That's amazing. And thank you for stepping up and saying that. But here we are. We have a private person that is willing to step up and pay people who are not receiving their pay. And they're protecting our country. They're protecting us from a potential another 9/11. No one wants that to happen. You know, our shores are being protected by our Coast Guard that are not getting paid. Hackers, if we're watching all of this going on in America, our adversaries are watching the same thing, and that is scary and sad.
Yeah, Tanja Fowler, we are praying for you, for your family, for your fellow TSA workers. It's time to get our TSA workers paid. They're working on the job. They're working hard. Thank you so much.
Be sure to like and subscribe for all the Fox News latest on YouTube and catch full shows streaming now on Fox One.